Hello, welcome to the second video segment of GeekRest.com, where we're discussing the recap of the week's geeky events, culture, news, comic book related goings-ons. I'm Adam Bernstein of GeekRest.com. I don't know if you got that last time. Joined by Aaron Holland.
Yo.
Of A Comic Shop.
ComicShop.com.
It's
and a comic show weekly video.
They sell produce.
Yes.
And comics and vegetables. That's an inside joke. Okay.
It's always funnier when you explain the jokes. All right.
I messed up. All right. A few things. We ran 20 minutes last time. Really want to try not to do that. So, moving on here.
We had a good rapport, though. I mean, definitely some of the sexiest dudes in comics that aren't,
I'm hearing
professionals
things
writing or drawing, I mean, I could stand to lose a few pounds, but you can't really,
I'll take your pounds.
All right.
All right.
So we were at MegaCon. It's in Orlando, and it was a freaking blast.
MegaCon was awesome. You were in it. I mean,
yeah.
you had the booth. You had the Nerdy Show booth. We said that last week. I mean, how'd it go?
Yeah, the Artist Alley booth. The first time I was in Artist Alley, I've done booths, selling other people's wares.
You always walk through, but never.
But, no, I mean, the first time I was behind the table in Artist Alley.
Okay.
And everyone pulled together. We had the artists of Mike's comic, Dungeons & Doritos #1, and he was doing sketches. And
right.
We sold so many. It was ridiculous. And just the outpouring of love towards us and Mike, our fallen brony.
Yeah.
And the comic was actually really good. And if anyone wants to get the comic or the t-shirt, it's nerdyshow.com. I'm sure it's still on their homepage, but nerdyshow.com, and then click on store or merch if it's not on the homepage. But that was really crazy. It was really cool how many actual professionals came to the booth to buy his comic too, because most of these people have signed at a comic shop, and we just nonstop outpouring of condolences and love, and it was
absolutely
got us through it. Got us through it. At night it was crazy drinking at the hotel that got us through it, but during the con, it's the work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
But,
no, that was cool. Tony did an amazing job with the sketches.
Yeah.
I mean, he was turning those things out.
We had 50 sketch covers, and he did all 50 by Saturday. Boom.
I got mine. Get yours.
And the biggest artist there, arguably, would be Greg Capullo.
Greg Capullo, man. He was the rock star of MegaCon. I saw him every day. Was it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? And he had a line, at least an hour and a half. A line of coke.
All right.
Dude, he had Greg, I'm sorry. I didn't say it.
It was me, Aaron, ComicShop.com. All right.
He had so many fans every day, and he was just so enthused. He signed limited prints for the first 50 people in line. He was happy to talk Court of Owls. Just solid dude.
And that Night of the Owls is going to be great. It's insane. It's just so cool how one book out of a ton of Bat books just becomes that straw that stirs the drink. And you don't have to read any of those other books to have enjoyed Snyder's Batman. Mm-hmm. But then Snyder's Batman with, Greg on art is so freaking good that now if you were reading those others without that, you do have to go back and read Snyder's Batman. You have to.
It's like becoming the primer.
How do you know about the Night of Owls if you don't read the main book?
Right, so. and Greg's been releasing, this whole past week, he's been releasing sketches of the Talons, which are the assassins for the Court of Owls. But I mean, there's a 1950s scheme, there's a 1940s, there's a 1890, and all these characters are going to be popping up, as the Court of Owls assassins in All-Star Western.
Right.
Batgirl, Catwoman is going to do a bout. So it's not just, the direct Bat titles.
And the way I kind of see this is like when Jeff Johns was doing the Sinestro Corps War and Blackest Night, all the different cores and all those designs. He had Ethan Van Sciver designing all that. You have to have an artist that not only can draw great and great storytelling and great pinups and great whatever and covers, they also have a sense of design to create all these new things. Yeah. And he's kicking it up.
I read
he's the man for the job.
Yeah, I read his Twitter post all the time, and he's like, "This is the hardest project I've had. It's the biggest pain in the ass creating these characters. And they all kind of look the same, but it's those little.
Yeah, you have all of the different core symbols are the same. They're just different colors, but the actual design is without color. So Ethan had that same thing, Yeah. So I mean, these artists they get challenged and they have to step it up. I mean, working for a creator owned, you're creating all this stuff, but sometimes when you're doing the creations work for hire for Green Lantern or Batman,
right?
You have so many eyes on you and so many opinions and so many things that imagine the stress is unbearable for them.
Well, dude, he's holding and he's jacked. Let me just throw that there. Dude, he's jacked. We're tiny men.
All right.
In the shadow.
I don't know. whatever. There's two of us and one of him, so.
It's true. Good point. As far as rock stars of the comic industry this week, I'll say Sam Humphries is blowing up big, and he has come from, indie roots, self-publishing. That's pretty much why most people know his name.
The level of authenticity of that guy, just like...
Dude, he's pro.
Yeah.
Without even, without the label. He just announced he's doing the Ultimates.
Yes.
And
co-writing it with Hickman. How long is that going to last for? He's the main writer.
He's
it's going to be great.
He's in the push Hickman out kind of man. I like that. It's like the apprenticeship co-writing program where guy steps in.
And for me, as the retailer, it's like, why would someone drop the book when both names are on it?
Right.
And then once they continue to like it, Hickman can segue out, and why would they drop it then? If it was just Sam Humphries, this dude that writes that book about having sex with dogs, I'm out.
That's his thing.
If it's Hickman and Sam Humphries, and you've heard all this buzz around Humphries' name, you're like, well, if Hickman likes him, it's like, you're hanging out with your friends, there's this new guy, and it's like, oh, he's, your best friend vouches for him. It's like, okay, cool.
Even without, Hickman, he's clearly been turning heads.
Yeah.
I think the biggest, I just did an interview with him with GeekRest. Hopefully that will post within the week because this new announcement, we want to clean it up and ask him a few more questions about the Ultimates. But when we were talking, what was it? I heard you laughing at me, so...
No, I wasn't. I'm just making kissy faces at you.
Our Love Is Really published, self-published.
Yes.
Image took notice. They published it for him.
Yeah.
Got huge, national attention. And then, for a sacrifice, his next, creator-owned idea, he self-published again, which was...
Self-published it in a truly innovative, groundbreaking way that included retailers taking a big, aggressive stance of 25 to 50 copies of all 6 issues, so he knows they're going to have to hand sell it and support it.
Yeah.
Plus, he partnered up with the big mail order company, plus he partnered up with the digital. So, it's self-publishing, but it's not self-publishing like the 80s self-publishing. It's self-publishing for the new millennium, self-publishing to say, yo, Diamond, you might be the only game in town for, distributing whatever, but you're not the only game in town if we really innovate around you.
Right.
And I think, he's freaking brilliant.
I think he opened the door for that. You're definitely going to see some people challenging Diamond as far as trying to get their own material out there.
The biggest thing to me, though, is, it's awesome to do all this innovative marketing, all these crazy awesome things to get noticed, but if your work is crap, everyone's going to know your work is crap a lot sooner.
Yeah.
His work is damn good.
Yeah.
So, he has all the parts. He has, he's an attractive guy, all right?
He's got the hair.
Great stories, and a brilliant marketer. He has everything you need to be successful in comics.
Yeah.
Not that you need to be attractive, but it sure as hell helps.
He's got great taste in music too.
Speaking of attractive, though, Nathan Edmondson, did you meet him at MegaCon? Nathan Edmondson of Who is Jake Ellis? Brilliant book, and he's doing I don't know if I was supposed to talk. Well, he showed me all the stuff he was coming up with, but he did Grifter. He's doing a lot of stuff, but he looks just like Ryan Gosling, like spitting image of Ryan Gosling.
Oh, that's
so hot. It was ridiculous. All my friends that were fangirls just were drooling over him. He was so ridiculously good looking. And if you have not read Who is Jake Ellis, you really need to try it because it is a brilliant, brilliant spy type book of espionage and everything with huge twists. Unreliable narrator, the type of buzzy things that I like, And he's gonna be signing at a comic shop soon.
Is he?
Yeah, he supposedly sent me down a bunch of T-shirts, little V-necks and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah, he thinks I should dress better. He thinks I should dress better. He's getting that Drive jacket from,
Is he?
Yeah, he's getting that. A friend of his started a Kickstarter for that because he said he'd wear it, but he's not gonna spend his own money on it because then he'll look like a douche.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, there's a Kickstarter.
Cool.
So I just had to segue about attractive men.
Yeah.
And
that's Ryan Gosling.
He's an up and coming writer as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he told you he gave you dirt.
Yeah. They all have their iPad.
You're bragging, but you can't.
No, but the iPad is they want to show you and they're showing on the iPad all this stuff and they might be able to close their mouth and not diarrhea out their projects that aren't announced yet. But when they have the iPad and it's they just want to show you. And as you're going, it's oh, whoops, I wasn't supposed to. Oh, whoops, I don't know, but
That's
I don't know, but sorry. Okay, move on. I'm sorry, I didn't.
What else? What else was new?
David Finch is cool.
David Finch was awesome. What's Palmiotti.
Yeah.
From All Star Western. Great dude.
He's a rock star.
I think he's a Florida guy too. I gotta double check that.
Well, he lives Tampa, kind of Clearwater, and also New York.
Yeah.
He was. When you're that level, you can have you can do your winters in Florida. Rooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was great, dude. He spoke a lot about it.
And Amanda Connor, she was great, and she has a Silk Spectre coming out for Before Watchmen.
Before Watchmen, and
wow. Darwin Cook was there, and he's doing the Minutemen, which was the one Watchmen prequel that Alan Moore was actually going to do.
Yeah.
And so I was talking with him about that for a while, and he said that he's a cocky guy, and he's delivered all his stuff. He did that New Frontier. He did the Parker adaptations, and and then the Spirit. And we were talking, and I was like, this is great. This is perfect for you. You did New Frontier. This is almost like Golden Age, where that was Silver Age, and so excited for not just his art style, but his sensibilities of kind of not updating old things, but make it so that a modern audience can, modern audience sensibilities. Like he didn't take, the Spirit and say, okay, now he has a cell phone. He didn't take like Parker and say, now it's like Born Identity. Yeah. It's still set in that period. And he said that he's cocky, thinks he's going to deliver, but he's afraid of it. He's afraid of it. He realizes that it's a big gamble, but he said he's always taken risks with his career. Yeah. And he thought Spirit was a bigger risk. He thought that, Alan Moore's Alan Moore. He's a great writer, whatever. But Will Eisner created the modern storytelling. Yeah. Like, Will Eisner created everything that they're doing in comics now. Like, arguably he created the graphic novel format. Yeah. So he said that he was more daunted taking over the Spirit.
Okay, yeah.
And, blah, 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 and disrespecting. And I was like, listen, let me tell you, as a retailer, ain't nobody really buying the Spirit Will Eisner. Yes, we have awards for him. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it's great. But these young kids, which are predominantly my customers, the college kids, they would not check that out but for his Spirit. Yeah. They wouldn't check out a Parker novel but for his Parker. And we'll have a generation coming that might not check out Watchmen but for the Before Watchmen. I don't know. I'm not going to say that. Scratch that. Off record. But still, that was the kind of conversation, and he gets that this is really serious, and he said they've been working on this for so long, and they were not going to announce it till they had all the creative teams in line, and all the creative teams were the exact right, perfect creative teams for the characters.
Right.
So much care and detail was put into this, selecting the creative teams and getting them all on the same page and getting them all freed up to be able to hit it all at once, and they know it's a big, huge deal.
I was going to say, now the pressure's on, clearly.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, I can't wait.
Yeah, at least it's prequels and not sequels, but still.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence about the whole prequel.
And I was teasing Darwin. I was like, if they wanted to do like some crossovers, Ted Kord, Blue Beetle, Night Owl, the era where they're both fat, that'd be a great cross 52 crossover. And he's like, no, that would jump the shark. I'm like, I know, I'm joking, but still, wouldn't you like to see a fat Ted Kord, Blue Beetle, and the fat
that's crossover, yeah.
That'd be fun. All right, moving on. I'm sorry, it's my own personal thing.
Well, that's pretty much it right there. We got wrapped up.
I like fat superheroes because they make me feel like I could be one. And Image Expo's this weekend. Speaking of cons, and Image is so on fire. It's freaking ridiculous how much on fire Image is. Yes, Marvel has the Averse X, and DC is the Owls and the new books they're coming out. And DC has like 4 Vertigo books that it's kind of cool that they're not abandoning the Vertigo line. They're moving forward with that. But Image, every big buzzy book that I've had, buzzing up, other than Sacrifice, which could have been Image, but the self-publishing thing has been Image. Brian K. Vaughan's Saga coming out in like 2 or 3 weeks is so freaking good. It's jaw-droppingly good. It's from the very first page. Plus, it's 40 pages for $2.99.
Is it really?
Yes.
It's just 40 pages. Oh wow.
So good. Like, I'll give you my advanced copy so you can see it. But it's so good. And then Fatale was great, and even these extreme books, like I hated those books, but Prophet is brilliant. Glory was great. I'm just their new slogan, like experience creativity, is truly true. It's not any kind of hyperbole. Yeah. It's like, in the 90s, they might as well have named their company Hyperbole, but now, it's just Images. If you want something new and different and innovative and fun and just crazy, that's Image. These books are not being written by the editors. These books are not, decided by committee. Yeah. These are a writer and artist that already come up with the idea whole cloth themselves, and then bring it to Image.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Image is, and it's freaking.
It's all for your own.
It's brilliant. I mean, I'm just so excited about that, and we're glued to the Image Expo, hype this weekend, which you guys should be too. It's great. I mean, Mark Miller's Icon books look great too, but
That's
it's just this 2012. I think is going to be the year of Image. I mean, it's just,
They got to change their logo.
Maybe, but 2011 was DC with the New 52. I would say inarguably 2011 was DC, even though it only started in September. The buzz for it started way before that.
Obviously, yeah.
I think that 2012 is going to be Image's big year. I mean, what is it? Their 30th anniversary or 20th anniversary
it's
or
like the big
25th
anniversary, I want to say.
I don't know. I'm dating myself. I was in middle school
Dude,
when
I was
it launched. So
that's fun.
Anyway, I don't know what you want to talk about. I just get really excited about certain creators and certain books, and
That's why I want you here.
Really?
I mean, that's why.
Nice. Cool.
On the record.
Sometimes I get lonely. I just want to talk comics,
Yeah, dude.
You know what it is.
Our doors are open.
So,
and flies.
And we need feedback on this. This, again, isn't the design and layout and what we want to do, but, we had MegaCon thrown in, so we didn't do one last week.
We missed it.
Hopefully next week, if we get on the ball, it'll be the format we want. And the format, some of it, what we got feedback from you.
Yeah.
And we have been hearing that you do want it more sexual tension between us. That was the most
Not
common,
enough?
The most common response was more sexual tension.
Yeah.
So
I'm working on it.
And we are working on a Mad Men sketch.
Oh, people want to see us in suits, apparently.
Yeah. With scotch and suits and talking about Marvel and DC circa 1960s.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
I'll do it. I love that show.
Yeah.
I've watched every episode twice.
John Hamm.
Yeah.
All right. So next time, tune in, please. And thanks for joining.
Bye-bye.
Peace.